Hey everybody, welcome back to another vlog. This is just a sports vlog. I got a little bit of something on my chest that I want to pretty much express. You know, I may be wearing red and white today, but I bleed blue and white, and I've bled blue and white. You know what I mean? The Toronto Maple Leafs since age of 4, and I've been a patient hockey fan for my Leafs, since the start of the rebuild, since the start of that tenure of Babcock. And all I've seen is the same thing from him over and over, and it's frustrating as a fan when you see, he has a winning lineup and then he tinkers and then he tinkers and then we lose 5 games and then he tinkers again, and that lineup wins a few games, and then we get a few games, 3 or 4 game winning streak, and then we lose a few more. And, sometimes we go on a run of 7, 8 games, and then we go back on a losing streak. And it seems to be this year with the updates over the summer. I think we got 9 or 10 new players. When Dubas made those key trades in the summer, some of them I really didn't like. You know what I mean? I didn't like losing Nazem Kadri because we're lacking that right now. We're lacking that energy, that tenacity. We have a little bit of it in Hyman, Zach Hyman, who's aggressively go gets the puck, but someone has a little bit of chip on their shoulder. If you look at other teams now, they have one of those. In the East specifically, there's Tom Wilson, who has a chip on his shoulder. In Boston, you got Marchand. In Vegas last night, the Leafs playing Vegas, they have Reeves. Just naming a few. And we had Nazem Kadri, and now we traded him off to Colorado Avalanche, and we got in return Kerfoot and what's his name, Barry, and Barry's just playing okay. The hype that came in about him, when we picked him up, where is it now? He has 9 assists. He's not playing to his potential. I've seen the clips of how he was in Colorado, and you know what I mean? At this point, I'm frustrated. It's already 20 games, I think about 20 games in, and I don't know. What are we going to do? Give him another month? Give him another 2 months? Is he going to turn it around? Is the East, not a good place for him to play? I know he thrived in the West, And with that big loss again last night, 4-2, it was good to see the third and fourth line, playing hard, playing D, doing whatever it takes to try to get something going. Line 1 and 2, no defense, the lackluster power plays, and it's pretty much, honestly, it's time for a change. I don't mind them, if they're thinking about getting rid of the coach, because it seems like the team has stopped listening to the coach. They've tuned him out, because in previous years, if they were down, he'd go into the room, say a couple things, and come back, and they come back and put a couple goals on the board. They come back and win the game. Now it's just they go in, they come back out, and they're playing the same. And it's frustrating as a fan. Eventually in my lifetime, it'd be nice to see a championship here. It was great to see the Raptors, again, different feel than Raptors had in previous past. They brought in that one player, Kawhi Leonard. It changed the whole environment, where he said, you know what, I just don't want to lose. And right now, we actually don't have that. I know at the beginning of the season, Babcock was preaching that and said maybe Matthews is the guy that, he is that guy. But, Matthews is a, 6'4", 6'5", dynamic scorer, great shot. But he's not that player that says, you know what, I'm taking over a game. We're going to win this game. And that's pretty much it. We don't have that. And I think, at this time of the season, I think, in my opinion, there needs to be a shakeup, either with a nice, one or two trades or a coaching change. You know what I mean? Something has to give. You know what I mean? It's right now 6-game losing streak. Are they going to think about something when it goes to 10-game losing streak? You know what I mean? As a fan, I want to see one, two, three players on the team that say, you know what, you know, f this. We're not gonna, we're gonna win every game, or we're gonna try to win every game. We're not just gonna settle for a loss, and that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? The goalie, Frederick Anderson is a great goalie, but he's not a goalie that says, I'm going to take over a game. You know, like winning every game. Like you see that in Carey Price, you see that determination in Tuukka Rask, Bobrovsky. You know, like you want a goalie that's going to say, you know what, my team's not playing great, but I'm going to steal the game tonight. You're not getting anything by me. So, I think maybe they can consider upgrading on the goalie, and or some of the players, because what's going to happen when Marner's going to be able to come back? You're going to still have to make trades to be able to have him come back because of the salary issue. So, maybe they're going to have to, trade off a couple of guys that are making $4 million. Looking at Barry hasn't been as expected, as well as a little bit down on CC as well. He's a guy that he plays pretty good defense, but then on the offense, it's disappointing. He gives up a lot of pucks, a lot of giveaways, and something's got to give. So I mean, as a Leaf fan for a long time, I don't mind either seeing a change behind the bench or basically a trade. If you agree, put a comment down below. What's your opinion if you're a Leaf fan and what they should do going forward? That's just my opinion, being a fan for such a long time, and I just don't have that feel like I did with the Raptors last year when they went through the playoffs and having that guy, at one point, I seen something in a player like that who was on a previous team when we played them, the Boston Bruins, back when in his early years, Milan Lucic, was determined not to lose, and they didn't lose that series. And now you have that in Marchand, just trying to think, Ovechkin, Crosby, McDavid. Even though he's a young player and he's turning out to be the best player in this league, in the NHL, he's building that, I want to win, and I want to win every game. And so we need to, or Dubas needs to look into his team and see, can I go out and, what can I do to make, the team better? Can I trade these couple of guys to get a couple of guys I can put on my team right now to fit under the cap? Can I get a few other prospects, etc.? We need to do something, Dubas. We need to do something. And because as fans, we're getting frustrated. We're really getting frustrated. We like to see a championship here before we are no longer here. Again, last cup was 1967, and the last cup for a Canadian team was 1993. And in the last 19 years, we've had 2 sniffs at a Stanley Cup final for a Canadian team, which was 06 Edmonton Oilers and 2011, Vancouver Canucks. And that's it. We need to get we need to have another Canadian team into the final. And I'm hoping that's the Maple Leafs in the next couple of years. So, Dubas, do what you need to do to make a change to help this team get back on track. And as a Leaf fan, and if you're new here, remember to hit that subscribe button, click that little bell right beside it, hit some likes if you agree with me on what the Leafs should do on the future of their team going forward this season. Or put in an opinion as well. Also, if you're a fan of another team, click a comment down below as well. Put a comment, tell me what your favorite team is. Who your favorite players in the NHL. You know, kind of wish that Leafs didn't lose that lottery draft back in the day when McDavid got drafted and we had him. But oh well. Anyway, also great to hear Don Cherry back on his feet. New podcast. Didn't think that he should have been kicked out the door that way. He's a man of hockey. He speaks the truth about hockey, and it's great to hear that podcast. And I might catch the podcast going forward while I'm in my journey. It was a great 30 minutes of listening yesterday. Go Don Cherry, and maybe bring back Rock'em Sock'em. Any of you agree? Rock'em Sock'em videos back in the day, maybe you can bring them back again, just like you just brought Grapevine to a podcast. So, I'm out of here. Just want to get a like, share, subscribe. Have a blessed day, everybody. And I'll talk to you soon. Peace.